Another Brick Fan here with a look at a Lego Spider-Man set. This is Attack in the Spider Lair. This is set 76175, was released in March 2021, has 466 pieces, 6 minifigures, and cost about $70 when it was released. This is a model of the Spider Lair, and I think they did a pretty good job in incorporating a bunch of different pieces, keeping with a red and blue theme, which you see with Spider-Man. I think that was pretty effective. I like how there's pretty much a spot for everything in this set. This does kind of remind me of the Spider Lair that was shown in Into the Spider-Verse, the Sony animated Spider-Man movie. Of course, that starred Miles Morales, which is noticeably absent from this set. Therefore, I'm not really sure where they got the inspiration for this set. I guess I'm not up to date on all of the Spider-Man comics, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the details of the Spider Lair. Starting with the left side of the Spider Lair here, you see we have first a skate ramp up here, which is nice. So this skateboard, you can put a minifigure on it. So if we take our Spider-Man figure, he could get on this and then skate down this ramp. Do all kinds of other tricks if you wanted to, which is a good little play feature inside of the Spider Lair. Zooming in here, this section here is kind of reminiscent of the Hall of Armor. And you can see there's these alcoves where he can put his other spider uniforms. Again, a little bit like the Spider Lair is shown in the Sony Into the Spider-Verse movie. But here we have Peter Parker, kind of half in his costume. So there's this piece here that looks like the spider cowl rolled up over his... That was in some of the Far From Home sets from 2019. This here is the Iron Spider-Man, or the Iron Spider. And then this here is the backpack or arms that come with that Iron Spider. This is Ultimate Spider-Man, here in all black with the green look. So something else from the Spider-Verse. Moving towards the center here, you see there's a tool bench back here with a bunch of different tools done in silver. I see these quite frequently in black, but this tool set is in silver, which is kind of nice. Lots of different tools here: screwdriver, hammer, wrench, a socket wrench, and then a drill here. There is a web back here. There's a lighting feature here, so there's a light that can be moved, obviously used to light the hall. And then this right here is a drone or a spider tracer. And there's a blue one, and then on the other side, maybe over here in the corner, you can see is a red one. There is this Spider-Man motorcycle here in the middle. We'll go ahead and take a look at that in a moment. But let's focus in on a couple things here. So here is a nice Spider-Man logo here up in the top. That is a sticker on a 4x4 round tile. Then right below that are all of the computer monitors, and there's 6 different monitors here. See here, this is the drone. This is information about the Iron Spider armor. Here's a text message, it looks like. There's a video game over here, another uniform that he's building, and then some more status screens. Those are a little hard to see here. And what I'll do is put up a picture of the sticker sheet so you can get a little bit more detail on what those stickers have on them. But also around here is kind of a desk. So there's a rotating chair here. Here's a spot for his camera, for his work with the Daily Bugle. Behind this coffee cup is the keyboard that works with the computer. Over on the other side is a video game controller. Starting to see these in a lot of sets as well. And then of course up front you saw where the storage for the spider bike was. Moving over to the right side of the Spider Lair. Once again, we have these little alcoves, and this one happens to have Venom in kind of a cell here. And then the rest of the tools are here, like a adjustable wrench, a tire iron maybe it looks like, oil can. There is a little workout area here, so there's a dumbbell down here with a water bottle. Then there's a basketball court here with a nice sticker back here of the backboard. And then of course there is a little action feature here where you can, if you try really hard, you can make a basket there. But it does take an awful lot of practice. So you can actually get a basket if you work at it. Overall, I think the Spider Lair looks really good. I like all the little touches inside of it. Makes for a really nice set. And it does come with a couple of other pieces with it. So let's take a look at those. First up, let's take a look at this little spider bike. So this is a common bike. I saw this in some other Avengers sets. If I remember right, this was in the Black Widow helicopter. Just a different sticker here in a red color instead of, I believe that one was a dark blue or maybe a black frame. And then there's the motorcycle chassis underneath that. It's got a little gear shifter here to represent an antenna, and of course handlebars. The figure sits right in here and then leans way forward in order to drive the bike. And you can attach his hands if you want to. It does roll, doesn't stand up. I mean, it does stand up pretty well, but if you just push it, it tends to fall over. Does give some nice playability though, and makes for a very nice vehicle. Same sticker on both sides here, just kind of opposite of each other. Turned out to be a nice motorcycle. The other vehicle, of course, is the Green Goblin's air sled or air speeder. I think this turned out pretty good with these jets down here, a little this little cone piece brings out a little flame here off of a jumper plate. It is a vehicle that he stands in, so he doesn't sit down to fly this, which I think makes sense to the movie and the comics, how it's done. There's a sticker up front here with a little grin on it there. A couple other silver pieces in here, and then he has a stud shooter that goes with the Green Goblin. Of course, his pouch over his shoulder that he stores his various bombs and other things that he carries around. Let's take a closer look at the minifigures. As I mentioned in the introduction, this set comes with 6 minifigures, 4 of which are exclusive to this set. They include Venom, Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, the Iron Spider, Peter Parker, and Green Goblin. The last 4 are all exclusive to this set. So let's take a look at Spider-Man, the Iron Spider, and Ultimate Spider-Man. First, let's take a look quickly at the accessories that came with Spider-Man. As you can see, Spider-Man comes with kind of the standard web accessories. These are in this kind of clear material, might even be glow-in-the-dark material. I haven't really tested it yet. You can see the stark contrast to the white, which they normally come in, and they're certainly not clear like it is right here. But it's a full set, so it has the cuffs and a bunch of these different web shapes, so you can create lots of different webs that Spider-Man can shoot. You can also see the Iron Spider comes with those extra arms that can be attached. And as you noticed before, there is a spot to store those arms in the Spider Lair. Let's get those out of the way so we can see the figure. So now that we have all 3 figures without their accessories, once again, this is Spider-Man. This is the Iron Spider, and this is Ultimate Spider-Man. This is from a Disney series where Peter Parker was asked by Nick Fury to join a team and become the Ultimate Spider-Man. So that's where that uniform came from. I haven't watched the series, so I don't have a lot more detail than that. But as you can see, he's got this nice green, kind of neon green printing and a little bit of light blue there, printing all the way down. The Iron Spider here has kind of a different spider symbol here on his chest, the gold eyes, gold hands. This is a very detailed Spider-Man, very good printing. You may have already noticed there is some side printing on the arms, which is nice. Moving around, he's the only one that has the side printing, but then the rest of him is done pretty traditional. So we have that web on the back of his head which I think is nice. You see the traditional spider logo here on his back. The Iron Spider looks like he's got the arms are retracted inside of the suit here. So that back printing is good, or you can have the arms in there. And then this Ultimate Spider-Man has the neon green once again on the back, and it looks like another spider here in the back with, you can see the eyes and the 8 legs on that. So a pretty good little logo for him. Let's go ahead and look at the next 3 figures. Next up we have Peter Parker, kind of halfway in his costume, kind of wearing that blue hoodie. Again, this reminds me of the Far From Home version of Peter Parker. Here is the Green Goblin with that hat piece dual molded with the green ears. It's nice printing of his purple costume there, and he's got a side pouch here. And then this, of course, is Venom. I think they did a really nice job on the face print for Venom. I think that turned out really nicely. And of course, the black and white printing on him. Peter Parker does come with not only a hair piece, but as you probably saw earlier, this kind of rolled up version. This piece looks like it's rolled up above, exposing his face, which I think is a nice piece. No side printing on any of these, but there's a good look at that pouch and that reddish brown color. Then here we have the back of Peter Parker's kind of blue hoodie. It almost looks like he's wearing a utility belt of some kind. Green Goblin has some more detailing on the back here, and then just another version of that logo on the back of Venom. There is an alternate expression here for Peter Parker and for the Green Goblin. So we have a couple of alternate expressions there on those 2 figures. Overall, a very nice selection of minifigures with this set. And I like the fact that we get 6 total minifigures, which all turned out really good. And like I said, 4 of them are actually exclusive to this set. Always good to get exclusive minifigures. Let's go back and I'll give you my overall thoughts on this set. Overall, a really good set, and I think a really nice representation of a Spider Lair, kind of like the Bat Cave, if I want to cross our different comic book genres. But I do like all of the computer screens in here. The Spider-Man logo is nice. I do like all these different alcoves in here, and I think those are good. It does show kind of the playability, I mean the fun aspect of the Spider Lair, since he does have this skateboard ramp over here. He has a basketball hoop, so it shows that he's not all business when he's in the cave here, or in the Spider Lair here. I think that's pretty authentic to the character. When we start talking about value for this, it's a low piece count, 466 pieces. It's a pretty wide model. It's a good size, but it's kind of minimalistic, right? There's not a lot of walls or anything like that built onto it. It does have a lot of these big curved pieces and things like that in this nice red color. Lots of blue tiles, obviously, around the sides here. When you come right down to it, it is $70 for 466 pieces. So to me, that's more of a $50 set. The redeeming thing, though, about it is you get 6 minifigures, which does add a little bit to the value. And then, of course, it is a Marvel-themed set, or ultimately Disney. So I would expect it to be a little bit more expensive just because of that. Still, I think this would be better as a $60 set as opposed to a $70 set. So look for it on sale, because it is a really nice display piece as well as having some good playability. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Spider-Man set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building.